Hey, what's going on, guys? Zaffron1000 here, and welcome back to another video, Force of Will video. This is another deck profile. Before I get started, I just want to say thank you guys so much for your support. For those of you who enjoy Force of Will as much as I do, and my not my last video, but my video before that for my Xi'an deck got a lot of attention, so I really want to appreciate those who gave me their feedback for the deck and some ideas. Just remember the deck is subjected to change. I did change a few things up, but that is the pretty much the blueprint. That's the blueprint of the deck in a nutshell. You can add or take out whatever you want. And if you do enjoy these videos, as far as Force of Will goes, please go ahead and hit the sub button. And go ahead and hit the like button as well. I really appreciate it. I will be still doing gaming videos, but I also will be doing Force of Will. And on the second topic, later today I will be going to my local gaming, not gaming, card store in order to record a few matches featuring some of these decks that I have made. So hopefully you guys will enjoy those. Hopefully they'll be out starting either tomorrow or Sunday, maybe Monday. Hopefully we're going for Sunday, but I want to try and get them out at least by tomorrow before I go to work. So, okay. So the ruler for the deck is Yggdrasil, the World Tree. This is a fun deck that I made. Pretty much, it's kind of like if you know Red Arla, it's similar to it in a lot of ways. And for those of you who know what I'm talking about, you'll see why. But I haven't had any problems with the deck. It's been pretty nice, and I've had a lot of fun with it. So, for those of you who don't know what the effect of Yggdrasil is pretty much when your life points hit zero, it will go to 100 instead, and allows you to summon a specific creature on board and regalia from your hand or deck. And of course, for an effect like that, that means the creature would have to be beefy, right? Which is the Alice, which is a 15/15, which you'll see later on in the video. So, that's our ruler. For our Magic Stone lineup, I run 3 Wind Magic Stones, I run 3 Fire Magic Stones, and I run 4 Magic Stone of Blasting Waves. So it is a green-red build. Very simple, safe stone lineup. With this stone lineup, at least, I don't have to worry about getting magic stone screwed or mana screwed, as the magic people who play Magic, they know that term better than I do. I've never really played much Magic, so those are the stones. As for Resonators, we'll start with green. We run 3 Elvish Priests, because ramp. He's a great turn 1 play. Great to just get him out on board and just start ramping up that mana. That way you can start playing some of your better cards early on. I guess you can kind of say it's a green-red rush deck in a way. So, 3 Elvish Priests. And 2 World Tree Protector. So this card, let's read this card. It's an avatar, and it says when this card is put into the graveyard from your field, search your main deck for an avatar. Reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle your main deck. This card gains +2/2 for each avatar in your graveyard. So, the reason why this is great is because if you're running multiple Alices, which if you're running Tree, you should be, which I run 2 of, but if you want, let's say you have the mana for it, you know, you're at the point where you have the mana to play it, and you want to get 2 of them out there, you can bring it to your hand. That way you can play it, and then you can, you know, you'll get your 100 life points, and then you can bring your second one out. And it's a nice it's a 4/4/2 drop. Not really too spectacular, but if you get a few avatars in the graveyard, he can get big pretty quickly. So. 3, Child of the Forest. So this is a great card mainly because for me it's a 2-drop 9 defense. It's a 3/9, and I love the fact of having a nice solid defender out there for only 2, for only a 2-drop. And pretty much what this card says is as long as your ruler is Yggdrasil, you can block flying resonators, which is nice. And with a beefy defense like that, you know, that this can cause problems for a lot of people who actually have flying, because then they have to worry about getting over this, which can just keep you safe. I mean, it's not going to deal much damage to them, but it'll keep you safe, which is what we're gunning for, and prevent all the damage that will be dealt to this card by J rulers. So if a J ruler attacks and you block, it just gets rid of all the damage. So it protects you in more ways than one. So it's a good solid card. 2 Thief Sings. Another way of ramping, and she's a nice quick cast. Get her out in the field. 5/7. I mean, Thief Sing is just great. You can run her at more if you feel comfortable having Thief Sing at more. I'd even put her at 3. Sorry, whoops. Knocking over my cards. Yeah, I'd even put her at 3 or even 4. I mean, I don't even think she'd waste that 4, because just being able to just negate, you know, just completely get rid of damage just by quick casting her, you know, it's really nice. You know, you can just get that Elvish Priest out turn 1 and then have 3, leave them untapped, and then let them waste that attack, flash it out, you know, depending on if it's attack, if it's in a attack that you really need to, you just don't want to take, and you can just flash her out, and you know, that kind of sets them back a turn, kind of, and up, you know, disrupts their tempo, which is really nice. So 2, Avatar of the 7 Lands, Alice. First of all, she's a freaking gorgeous card. I mean, look at her. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. Look at that full art. Yeah, such a nice card. So many colors going on there. Looks so great with the green. So she's a 15/15 quick cast. So she is a quick cast, and she has target attack. Hers quick cast, that's kind of dangerous. You know, you flash her in on your opponent's turn, block something with, like, you know, that's not going to get through this, and then she's swinging in next turn. So hers a quick cast is just ouch, you know. And this is the card that you would summon out once your life points hit 0. I run 2 in the deck. I don't think 3 is too many. I run 2 because, you know, I think 2 is it's a safe number for a card like this. I'd run 2 and then sideboard into a 3rd one unless you're running a different strat. But I like 2, and 2 works for me. So and then we run 4, Prisia, the Pursuit of Exploding Flame. One of my staples in this deck. I really wanted to just put her in a deck because I just wanted her. She just looks so freaking awesome. She has everything. It's just a beautiful card. So she's a multicolored right there. So she's 1 grass, 1 red, and 1 colorless to play her. She comes out right off the gate. Swiftness, target attack, first strike. What else do you want? What else do you want? The only problem I actually can see with this card is it's in thunder range. You know, 400 defense. But even that, I'm kind of okay with that because this thing deals 500 damage when it's removed from the field. So it's like a mini thunder itself if it's destroyed. So it's still gonna you know, give him that damage. And by paying 1 green, 1 grass, it gets flying. It gets flying. Swing in, bam. Swing in, bam, swing in, just swing in. You know, I mean, it's such a good card. It's just, I mean, it can not really costly, but I guess in order to utilize it to its fullest, um, it's a four cost to get everything, so including its ability. So, but if you're, you have your Elvish Priests out and everything, it shouldn't be that big a deal. So, and then you have your Fief Sayings. So yeah, it's great. Love the card. Love it. Play that for. For Rook Eggs. Self-explanatory. It's Rook Egg. What else do I need to say? It's Rook Egg. Yeah. So Rook Egg, search engine. Get all your good fire cards. Get those in your hand. It's pretty much what it's used for, and it's a nice one drop. Get it out turn 1. 2 Lancelots. Yeah, you knew it was coming. Force, a little bit unnecessary in this deck, especially because I'm focusing primarily on Prussia more than any other card as far as DPS, if you will. But Lancelot is Lancelot, and I run it at 2 because, well, it's Lancelot. Why not? It's a 2-drop 6/6 with a shit ton of abilities. Then 2 Athena, Titan of Revenge. Pretty much the new Snow White. Full art. Oh, yeah. So yeah, 2 of her, and she. Okay, so let's just go over her for a second. She can become a big problem. She's a 12 Apostle, which there weren't that many. I still don't think there's that many, but I think they're slowly starting to like get some traction and get more of those type of cards out. But sorry. She comes out the gate with swiftness, which is great. Goes with the deck. This is a quick deck. Everything, for the most part, has swiftness, so everything's coming out the gate swinging. Whenever this card deals, whenever damage is dealt to you, put 2 +1/+1 counters on this card, and then for 1 red, this card deals 100 damage to each player. So each time you're getting, this goes great with the deck because I thought pretty much my mindset was I'm going to be wanting to take intentional damage anyway because of the World Tree and its ability. So why not just stack it on with her and then just make her fucking huge? Or, excuse my language. But yeah, make her huge. I mean, and you can, I really would run more of her, but, I'm kind of short on them at the moment. And if I was to run more of her, I'd probably replace her with the 2 Lancelots because honestly, kind of like her a little bit better than Lancelot. Actually, no. I actually may keep Lancelot in and replace her with something else. I don't know. But right now she's at 2. 1 Gillis. Just to have a nice backup big body, just to throw it out in that field. It's nice to have some of these because right now the only ones in the deck are the Alice, the 2 Alices. So I want to have a backup plan. It's always good to have a backup plan, and he's my backup plan. So, and my backup to your backup. You always say a good backup has a backup. Susano. The reason being, it's Susano. That's it. Susano. 6 cost, yes, but it's coming out with swiftness as well. It's coming out just like the dragon. Everything has swiftness for the most part. It's coming out with swiftness, and it's burning something, and it's coming straight for you. So. Now we'll go into our spell lineup. 2 Rapid Growths. Great card, obviously because it's boost. You can use it twice, so it's a remnant. So you can use it in the graveyard. So essentially, I'm running 4 of these in a roundabout way. And it's a 1-drop. So and it boosts it, but J/Resonator by 4/4. Boosting the J portion of this is irrelevant in this deck. But it's great to great for Lancelot. Get it to 1,000, while someone's trying to swing in, you block it. I probably don't use this in Lancelot, but you can beef up the defense in order to, make sure your creatures survive. Swinging with Lancelot, they let that happen. Rapid Growth, that's 1,000, triggers the effect. And, swinging with your flying, with your Prussia, trigger, pump it up and just get that damage in because, I mean, you figure if you're gonna swing in with Prussia, which is a 7/7, or a 7-4, and they take the damage, and you just chase with this, you know, they're going to be losing 11, and then, you know, they're going to want to get that threat off the board. So by being forced to get that threat off the board, they're going to take another 500. You know, so they're going to be slowly getting, well, maybe not slowly, but they're going to be taking some considerable damage. So, now this card you can take out for Wall of Wind, but I only run 2 of these. Okay, so let's read this. When this card enters your field, you draw a card. So that's nice. When a spell or ability your opponent controls targets a J/Resonator you control, you may banish this card. If you do, cancel that spell or ability. Now, the thing about this is, I don't know. I'm pretty, yeah, alright, so I think you have to do this on your turn because it doesn't say tap to do it. So actually, actually looking at it, I mean, I like it. You can draw a card or whatever. But Wall of Wind may actually be a better, a way better kind of, like, you know, cancel thing, or even just run 2 extra Zeeks, because I do run Zeeks in this deck instead of these 2. Maybe run 2 more. I mean, it's not a bad card, but if I can't, like, respond, I want to be able to respond quickly. I don't want to wait, and, you know, until my turn. You know, usually if your opponent's using an ability or a spell, it's going to be on their turn, just so I can, you know, get you down. I don't know exactly, correct me if I'm wrong, but yep, that's the purpose of that. Format of the World Tree, I run 2, because it lets you draw a card and it gives you plus 800 life. What I mean draw a card is you're technically drawing a card. What it says is you put any number of cards at the bottom of your deck and you draw that many plus 1. So it's kind of like a mulligan league thingy. It's like a mulligan plus 800 life points plus you draw an extra card. So that's always good. And we run 2 of these guys. So 2-drop, good card. Especially if you're going to be hitting 100. You play 2 of these, you know, kind of gets you a little bit back in the game. 2 Zeeks, spot removal, or, well, you know, to get them, I guess not really spot removal, but just to get them off the field before they even hit the field. You know, someone plays something big and you know it's coming out to Zeeks. Get rid of it, change target to something else. Zeeks has a lot of, you know, utility. Like I said, if you wanted to switch out the other way, where is it? The Wind's Refuge little thingy or whatever. You can just put in 4 Zeeks if you want. 2 Ame no Habikiris. Devastating card. I love this card, honestly. I mean, on Lancelot, it's devastating. I mean, I can throw this on Priscia and then just make it not matter if they block or not. I mean, at least this gives me the option if I don't have flying and I don't want to spend the win for flying and I put this on Priscia, I can ensure that that attack will go through. And it pumps her up out of thunder range and creates an even bigger problem. I mean, imagine putting this on Alice. Problem. Almost every card in here, if you put this card on it, they become a problem that they have to respond to almost immediately. Or they're gonna get taken down big time. Ame no Habikiri. Love it. 1 Banzai attack. This is for the more longer prolonged games. I only run the 1 because you only really need to see it once, because when you play it, it should be to wrap things up, to give everything +7, +0, and +7/0 and pierce. So if you're playing this, that means you're having the creatures to swing in for game. This is for game. That's, you know, that's what that is for the prolonged exchanges here. We go into Regalia, Levitine. Now a lot of people may say, oh, Levitine, well, you can't J-activate it, and, you know, you are right, and it's almost virtually useless. The only purpose I have that I have this card in for is for Rook Egg as a sack engine. The last thing I want to do is have my. Usually, if you have a Rook Egg out, you know, you're depending on if it's like at the beginning of the game, your opponent may be a little bit more hesitant to attack because they want to slow down your tempo, so they don't want you getting those cards in your hand too early. So they'll just let that Rook Egg just kind of sit there and do other things. And you know, I don't want to be in that position where I'm stuck with a Rook Egg. You know, I may not have much going on in my hand, and I need a monster. And they can just wait it out until they get a better card, and then it won't matter. Just to have, you know, this backup Levitine and just be able to sack my own egg off and just get what I need when I need it is, for me, I feel like is great. You don't have to have this card. You can switch this out for anything else. Probably a third one of the next card that I'm gonna show, which is Regalia, the Blade of the Seven Lands Excalibur X. You can run a third one if you prefer, which will boost, which is not bad if you have two. That's I think that's 1,000 to her, right? No, it's 800. So you can run 3 of those, and let's read this off. So you cannot be targeted by spells or abilities your opponent controls. So I guess that pretty much means you, the player, cannot be targeted by spells or abilities. I guess this is mainly so, like, if they do get you to that 0 and you go to 100, this ensures that they can't just, okay, well, Thunder, you know, game loss, you know, because this is supposed to be like a last stand kind of strategy. So, your J-Ruler and Resonator named Avatar of the Seven Lands Alice you control gains +4/4. So, the J-Ruler part doesn't matter at all. You could probably, I guess you could probably run this in another deck, and I guess make it work if you're using Alice in a deck other than Yggdrasil, which I'm sure some people will come up with some creative little builds. Whenever your J-Ruler or Avatar of the Seven Lands Alice you control becomes targeted by a spell or ability, cancel that spell or ability unless the controller pays 2. So that's a neat little card there. So when you have that Regalia out and it is combined with, where is she? Alice, which I'm actually going to sideboard a different ruler, that way my J-Ruler can get the benefits of this, because it's pretty good actually. So you have that with that. If damage were to be dealt to you, the player, Alice would take that instead. So she's going to be coming out as a 19/19 straight off the bat, right there. And if you have 2, you know, it's even more. Throw Ame no Habakiri on her. Why not just do it? Swing in. Doesn't matter if you block. Do what you want. So let me get her back in her proper place. There. It's freaking gorgeous. Let's go. Okay. It's gorgeous. So that is the deck profile for Yggdrasil, the World Tree, and that is it. So I'm gonna probably try and test this deck out. Was it what did I call this? It's like I forget. It was like bloody World Tree because it was supposed to be like bloody Arla or close to it without the bows. But yeah. So that's the deck. I'm gonna try this out today once I go to the card shop and get a few matches in with the 3 decks. I revamped the both of the previous decks that I've shown. I revamped them and put a few extra cards in here and there, and took out a few, so you'll probably see those in the match. So that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, or if any of this was informative to you at all, go ahead and hit that like button. Also, if Force of Will is your thing and you enjoy Force of Will, please go ahead and subscribe. That'll give me the motivation to do more videos. I love doing them anyway, but I switch back and forth between gaming and Force of Will, so I want to make sure I accommodate both audiences accordingly. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Zephyron1000, and I'll see you guys later.
Well, so much for stealthy, right? Just you and okay.